Man who needs little to no introduction, Benjy Adler, who is, contrary to popular belief, not Robbie's twin.
All right.
You're working with a pretty short mic cord here.
Oh man, pressure. Okay, no, I'm just gonna need to get this all the way up. All right, there we go. God damn, with this population here, I could be mistaken to think it's my own wedding. There's so many wonderful friends and family here. Okay, so here we go. So the prospect of giving this toast has been it's been looming for a while now. I found myself with some writer block, and it took quite a lot of effort to crack the nut here on this one. Hey Robbie, hey Ruthie. This is important, you know. This is a sibling, my closest sibling in age, and the one that I've traveled through a lot of my youth together very, very closely. So I was drawing a blank, so decided to take a scattershot approach and write just more or less everything that comes to mind. Hopefully somewhere in here we find a nugget of wisdom. For those of you who know me, for me to just say whatever I think is terribly dangerous. We're just gonna go ahead and do that anyway. All right. So here we go. So I've been fortunate to attend a number of weddings this summer, and I've been sort of studying toasts, you know? Like, what am I going to say about to Robbie? It's like, to Ruthie is a big deal. By the way, I'm going to go with Ruthie. I'm not going to go with them, because that's what I was taught to call her. And, when I say Robbie and Emily, it just feels weird. So we'll stick with that. So I noticed that some toasts share wisdom and advice about life and love. And I gave that some good thought, but honestly, these are two people that are doing great. They're on their own accounts. They're living the dream here in Slide Ranch. This I've said many times is a feather in their cap that no matter where they go, no matter what they do, they can say they stole 3-4 years, whatever it is, here at Slide Ranch. It's such an absurd place to be living. The community, the nature, the food, and just near San Francisco. And they've both proven this ability to build their lives and careers in places of great beauty. Robbie somehow manages to work from Lake George for like 6 weeks every summer. These are kind and caring people, really kind and caring people. They have this remarkable group of friends, even if they're completely mistaken as to where Robbie and Ruthie should ultimately choose to live in life. And they found each other. So honestly, they don't need my advice, and I should probably listen to what they have to say. Okay, page 2. So some toasts. So there's the give advice. So I can't do that one. Some toasts are borderline roasts, and yes, I could tell tales of Robbie exploding at the verdict of that he had to put his braces back on, and he was so upset that he just walloped the suburban glove compartment until he broke it, and my mother made him pay to replace it. But interestingly, the replacement never worked. So he's a man of conviction here. I could also mention that Robbie has a special ability to bring less than desirable weather wherever he goes, but not this weekend. Be it skiing in the winter or Lake George in the summer. We had a month of cold weather this summer, thanks to Robbie. Thanks, bud. I could also mention the fact that upon request from Robbie, there is this secret moratorium on giving Ruthie gifts because she has this compulsive habit of out-gifting you. Oops. The list goes on, right? But there's lots, you know. Well, actually, the list goes on. But really, roasting a couple like them is on their eve of their wedding doesn't really seem all that appropriate. We're talking about two remarkably well-adjusted and dignified people. Ruthie, you're a potently kind and warm-hearted person, and you're a wonderful cook, and you really know how to have fun. And Robbie's lucky to have found you. And Robbie, I could have gone on and on here. I'm going to keep this pretty short, but you're a man of integrity, of intelligence, of conviction, compassion, insight. You're thoughtful. You're perceptive. You're a leader, and you also clearly know how to have fun. So, simply put, a proper roast doesn't come all that easily to Robbie or Ruthie, as it would say to Johnny. or, in all fairness, RJ. Ted, could you raise your hand? And of course, or myself. So, we'll move on from that idea. Okay, so some toasts I've noticed reflect back on history as friends or family. 2 weeks ago I was swimming with my mom. We were at Lake George, and I said, God, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. And she said, well, you got to dig deep back into your childhood because you spent so much time together. And she's right. And so as middle children and the closest in age, we're just 21 months apart. We apparently look the most like each other of any siblings, too, so it's been said. We spent a lot of time together. We went to camp together. We went to boarding school together. We went to college together. And we were on the same hockey teams. We were on the same cross-country teams. I don't know if we need to be remembering that. We were the only siblings to suffer the oppression of sharing a room together, which is an emotional burden of unrivaled significance. Stop funny. Okay. At one extended family, we used to occasionally we would dress alike, just for I don't know why. And then one time we were at an extended family function. We had our name tags, and we decided to switch those name tags, and the already like blur of Adlerian noise, just no one was willing to like say our names at all at that point. Everyone lost confidence. It's you're right. So there's that. We worked on the beat of multiple entrepreneurial endeavors, from investing in bulk quantities of candy for camp, which we sold or bartered. We're open to both. We collected 300 Snapple wrappers with the help of some siblings, but we were the most ambitious about it, I think. And we redeemed that for a Snapple jacket. Here's a good one. We used to take a 3-horsepower dinghy called the Amy, a mile and a half down the lake to a marina, where we would see how much money on a nearly daily basis there was in the give a penny, take a penny jar, and take it all. That happened, ladies and gentlemen. Well, anyway, I got to keep moving here. The fun times kept up through college, where our circle of friends kind of wove together. We've had adventures on skis, concerts, camping, traveling. We went to Guatemala, and just much more. Anyhow, this summer, I've enjoyed being with Robbie at 2 bachelor parties and 3 weddings. And I actually realized how much time had passed, and that actually in our late 20s and early 30s, he's been out here in the West, and Jamie and I have been in the East, and we actually haven't spent that much time together. For the uninitiated, Robbie, he's not particularly good at talking on the phone. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And when we do find each other, find ourselves in the same place, we inevitably are in a scrum of Adlers and friends, and But finally, last Friday, I was in Seattle for Mike and Corwin's wedding, who are here tonight. A beautiful, beautiful wedding. We found ourselves for like one moment alone, talking, just the two of us. And I was trying to reflect on what a momentous month we all have, in a sense, ahead of us, but especially Robbie and Ruthie, who have nothing less than 4 weddings, including their own, and of course their honeymoon. We were sitting there on this patio overlooking the Puget Sound, and let's see. Oh wow! I moved all the way. I likened it to a slip and slide, right? It was sure to go fast. Like this thing is going to happen. It's everyone says it's a blur. And when we discussed how best to experience something so profound, his response was that when he and Ruthie talked about it, they had resolved this intention to be as present as possible. So I got a little left. Don't cut me off, okay? Well, here we are now, Robbie and Ruthie. And I want to take an intermission in my monologue, in my soliloquy. I want you two to stand up, because I know where you're going to be, and just turn around. I know you're going to do this tomorrow. And look around and know that we're all here. We're here for you two, with you two. Okay. Are you ready? Because we can do that again if you want to do that. Okay. All right. Almost done. All right, so we've talked about the past, and we talked about the present. I'm going to do a quick word on the future, and then we're going to wrap things up. So tomorrow you two get married. You make this powerful, sacred commitment to each other in front of this wonderful, remarkable community that you've assembled. And sometime thereafter, there'll be another generation that comes. And hopefully one day, yet future generations will sit around a table, as we did on Wednesday, talking about the 5 siblings, that would be your grandfather's siblings, and whether or not to list them in a remembrance tree, as we did on Wednesday. Or perhaps maybe it was just too many names, right? And when I thought about just what to say tonight, to do my best to honor you two and this profound commitment you're making to each other, and to reflect on the commitment that this represents for your lives and for ours. And I thought about this arc of life that we're all traveling across, and that as a sibling of yours that just 21 months apart, we've done so much together, and in this nuclear family that has stayed so unusually close and so unusually uninterrupted by disease and sorrow. And I thought about this other wonderful family that has also traveled through its own arc, and I thought about the merging of the two. And I didn't have the greatest conclusion. What I realized was just that what I realized is just that it's about as powerful as anything I know. And I congratulate you two for finding each other, and for taking this leap of faith, which for Adlers is slow coming. And I want to thank you both for the past, the present, and future joy that you're going to bring to each other and to this community. I think you made a wonderful choice, and so I just want to toast you. To Robbie and Ruthie. Okay, the end.